Hi, I'm Susan West with Fidelity National Title and
I'm Ashley Scabiani, also with Fidelity.
And with Chelsea Title.
That too.
That too. So we're here today to talk about
Title insurance. I mean, what is it?
What is it?
I'm asking you.
Oh, I thought we were just still role-playing here a little bit. So title insurance. What is title insurance? So title insurance is insurance that insures someone that owns a property. So in other words, there's an owner's title insurance policy, and that policy insures a owner that no one else has interest in the property, unless, of course, they took a loan out on the property, which means their lender has interest, right? Financial interest. Which leads me to the second policy, which is a lender's or mortgagee's policy, which ensures the lender that they are in first lien position, meaning no one has financial interest ahead of them. So it's literally the lender and the owner, an owner's policy and a lender's policy.
So what I'm hearing is the owner gets a piece of paper saying they own the land, and the lender gets a piece of paper saying that they have a valid lien on it.
Right. So sometimes, actually, I can't tell whether you're just simplifying things or if you're being grumpy.
Both.
Both. Okay, good. So we're going to talk a little bit more about title insurance.
Like why we need it.
Like why we need it,
Yeah,
right.
Do you have an example?
Well, I thought you could start with your example.
No, your example goes first.
No. Oh, my
Yes.
example goes first. So this is what I was thinking about. Lauren here at the studio. We love Lauren. And Lauren might have a new boyfriend. And when Lauren and her boyfriend get married, they will be husband and wife.
Typically.
And maybe he could ask sometime soon for her to marry him. That would be fabulous. When they get married and they are husband and wife and they buy a property, we at Fidelity National Title would issue them an owner's policy. And that would tell Lauren and her boyfriend, I think his name's Brad, that they own the property. And because they were in title, Brad and Lauren, last name, husband and wife, that means that the property's in title estates by the entireties, which means if one of them were to, I'm talking too long, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already fell asleep.
Sorry. Well, what's your story?
My story is about divorce.
Okay.
So we're going to go opposite of marriage, and we're going to talk about when a seller is selling a property and they tell everybody that they're single.
Gotcha.
Right? So they're going through a divorce. They're trying to quickly sell some assets so that their ex doesn't get any money from it, right? Because how are they going to get money from something that's already gone?
Because divorces are typically ugly.
Right. So if you're the one buying the property, you want someone to call when that ex-wife is knocking on your door.
Right.
And that's us.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's title insurance.
Oh, so you would say to the ex-wife, if you were the property owner, the buyer that has the title insurance policy, call Fidelity National Title because they issued me a policy, and the policy said, I own the property and no one has interest in it.
Correct.
So ex-wife, that your husband, ex-husband, didn't include you, didn't share the proceeds, didn't have you sign a deed, lied and said he was single, you knock on Fidelity's door and they'll pay you whatever you need to be paid.
Well, we might not pay, but we'll fight the fight.
We'll fight the fight for our
For
insured.
the buyer. Yes.
For our insured.
The one we insured.
Right.
Correct.
And we'll, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. It happens. It happens a lot. It's happened twice this year.
Really? Yeah. And this year's, we're not even at the end of January.
I know.
But can we just talk again about my marriage one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell. Like, I know sometimes I go the long way around the block. And I know you're simple, but I also think you're grumpy sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I wanted to say this, that when people are married or they're single and they buy property, how they vest in title is very important. So my Lauren and Brad husband and wife story, if they buy a property together as husband and wife and they take title as husband and wife, they're vested in a way that tells the world, the title world, the property ownership world, that in the event one of us dies, the other one owns the property, right?
Yep.
And in the event that we go to sell, we both have to sign a deed together because really the marriage owns the property. And also in the event that there's a judgment against one of us, a creditor's judgment against one of us individually during our marriage and during our ownership of the property, a creditor's judgment can attach as a lien. So vesting, why are you laughing? This is good information.
It's just funny. It's funny to me. So really what title insurance is, all of this to say, it's really, how do you know where the seller's been and what the seller's done?
Right.
So you need experts like us to do your transaction for you so we can fill in all this information because you probably don't know and I don't know if you care, but we do.
Right.
Because we're insuring it.
We're insuring the new owner.
Yeah.
But it also makes a difference. What if we bought a property together?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're going to go death again and you called me grumpy.
Yeah. No, if we buy a property together, we get to decide, do we take title tenants in common?
Right.
By the way, that's another term that talks about vesting. Yeah. If we buy tenants in common, and yes, I'm going to talk about death, I'll die. And I die.
Perfect.
Right, okay. You own 50%, I own 50%, I die. My heirs now own the property with you.
Well, except I would do joint tenants with rights of survivorship so that I also own your 50% because I need more money.
Exactly, right. So we have choices on how to vest. And those conversations and those questions are asked when a buyer goes to buy. And also, we need that information when a seller goes to sell. And we could talk, but we won't talk about homestead, spousal joinder.
The list goes on and on.
We could talk about a lot of things, bankruptcy.
I know.
We could talk about probate.
But this is just what is title insurance and just giving people just a view of why it's important that they call Fidelity.
Okay.
Because we'll handle all that for you.
We will. Absolutely, we will. Thank you so much for taking time to watch the Ashley and Susan show. And we really plan to bring more information to you this year of 2022 on what is title insurance and what is probate and what is.
But just one at a time so you're not overwhelmed.
Okay, good. We won't overwhelm you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.